go, ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News. 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 News.
Oh, there we are. That looks like me. Probably because it is. All right. A few details. My phone now works. See, here it is. It was dead. I thought deader than dead, but I was wrong. That didn't stop me from ordering a new one, which will probably be here tomorrow. Well, I'll figure that out when it gets here. But of course, it's as typical as an embarrassing story. I had actually I had an hour before I went to work, so I really have no excuse for my panic. But nevertheless, I was like, damn it. Oh. So I went ahead and ordered a new one. And I just like, well, I'll just have to go phoneless, and just hope I don't need it or whatever. Anyway, but I knew I'm addicted to watching YouTube or something. So I found something else I'd forgotten I had. A shitty old, you can see it's scratched up and stuff, old Chromebook. So I was able to watch Pat Dixon on this thing. So, oh boy, I guess it kind of worked out that way. Anyway, when I got back, and there's a whole other, it's been a bad week for me and all kinds of stuff going on. No, I will not go into it, but good God, is it taking a toll on me? This is perhaps the most energetic I've been. Well, Saturday morning was oddly energetic. That's interesting. But anyway, I got back and I thought, hey, wait a minute. Maybe I should look up, on YouTube if a similar problem, just describe it in the search and see if there's videos. First video that comes up tells me what to do. And it worked. See, I always thought when you reboot your phone, it's like you press the restart, instead of just turning it off. Because it just seems to do it like that, It's like, your desktop or whatever. But no, not exactly. It's more like you need the Control-Alt-Delete. So how you do that? Well, you press the power button and the volume button at the same time. And boop, there it goes. It reboots. You don't lose anything. All my stuff was still on it and all that. So I was like, well, and that's the best part. It's still acts a little weird, and it's been showing signs of that for a while. So it's getting up there. So, but still, jeez. Boy, do I feel like an idiot. And I should. It's appropriate because, look, even though I was ignorant of what to do and stuff, and I got the wrong idea, what have you, the most obvious thing in the world. Well, let me see if there's any like tutorials or something on it. Yeah. On top of everything else, which I can't go into. Oh, God. But anyway, there you go. That's the story of the phone. So it's working now. Yeah. So it's good it works. But when am I going to learn? Never. Sabrina's Espresso. Oh, so when I'm doing the show on Rumble, I think I don't see the emoji of the turquoise person waving. And so here, when I blow it up to read it, it just says the text. And now I see the image. At long last, the mystery is solved because there indeed is the turquoise person waving. And it repeats over and over because it's a lot of turquoise people waving. Mm. Well, see, boy, good Lord, all kinds of revelations for poor old Mr. Nailsin. Hit the like button. That's right, Nodak. People should do it indeed. Serena Espresso says it again. The turquoise person still waving. Part-time planning gives a thumbs up. Why, thank you. Part-time planning says Doug. Part-time planning says chat. All right. Well, I'm chatting. Anywho, there we go. Oh boy, it's a lot of Nailsin news stories. They're all disgusting and horrible. And I don't think I have one to end on a light note. What about this one? Maybe I'll move that one to the end. This one, oh geez, no, 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 nah, no, well, no. Oh, good Lord, no. Oh God. Um, oh, geez. Oh boy, that's bad. Well, damn it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't even know if I'll get to these. They're rather political. Okay, here we go. We've got a winner to be the light note. There we go. Whew. But the rest are all excruciatingly disgusting. And I apologize in advance. I apologize a lot, almost as much as I suffer embarrassment. Embarrassment is my lot in life. You get used to it after a while, you know? You sure do. All right. Let me go to the first story. That'll get us going for what the people have come to expect from Nailsin News. You know what it is? News stories. That's right. That's why the word news is in Nailsin News. I'm Nailsin, and this is the news. Oh, yeah. Man indicted for putting semen in yogurt sample. July 14th. It's been a while. All right. Well, a grocery store clerk was indicted on federal charges for allegedly giving a female shopper his yogurt sample that was tainted with his semen, and then lying to federal agents about the revolting incident. Well, I wonder why he wouldn't just admit it. Anthony Garcia, 32, was named in a 2-count indictment filed in U.S. District Court in Albuquerque. You know, he's going to be arraigned and all that. Probably already has. Anyway, the January 25th incident was initially investigated by the Albuquerque Police Department before the case was turned over to the federal officials. You shouldn't have made that turn at Albuquerque. According to a police report, the female victim told cops that she was shopping with her daughter at the Sunflower Farmers Market when she was approached by a pushy Garcia offering her the yogurt sample. After tasting the yogurt, the woman immediately thought the sample tasted gross and disgusting. And Cups noted, she said it tasted like semen. Uh, um, A lab test confirmed that the yogurt sample provided by Garcia did indeed contain semen. Investigators then secured a search warrant authorizing the collection of fluid and DNA samples from Garcia. Subsequent testing revealed that the semen found in the yogurt sample consumed by the female shopper matched Garcia's DNA. If convicted of adulterating the yogurt, Garcia faces a maximum of 3 years in prison, while the false statements count could result in a maximum 5-year sentence. Well, the act of trying to trick a woman into consuming his semen gets less years than lying to the feds. Huh. Well, anyway, that's the law for you. But what is the point of this? He's like, oh, there's a pretty gal. I'm going to go introduce myself to her. But wait, I know. I'll get her to consume my semen. In the secrets in the semen for the yogurt, you know. Yeah, I don't. This is well, it's disgusting, of course, but yeah, yogurt sample that was tainted. That's the line I was looking for the obvious song joke that will now fall flat. But he was offering her his tainted love. There, you see, it's not going to work now. But what else can you do? It's not my fault. It's his. Piece of shit. Oh, well, that's it for that one. All right. Spurg Snake says, good evening, Doug. Chat. Pellel says, hello, everyone. Pellel says, banana cum starred flavor. Yeah. Part-time planning, come some young guy. Noda gives a salute. Mr. Snap to everybody. Everybody's saying hi. Part-time planning. That's a little sperm like she thought. Yeah, I know. It's like, hey, look. It turns out it was helpful. She stopped this creep from doing this to other women because, you know, she's experienced. I mean, look. Yeah, I feel terrible for her, but, you know, that away. There's some other one who's like, what? It tastes weird. I don't know. Pellel, eerily familiar taste. Well, yeah. No, thanks. That's gross. Well, I don't know the exact amount. Oh, you mean, yeah. Pellel, goo plate. His special sauce. He's like, look, I thought I was trying to see if it would be a hit. I really want to make it in the yogurt business. It's got nothing to do with any kind of creepy attraction to this woman. Spurg Snake, thanks, Pell. Always happy to see you in Nodak. Part-time planning, gross, yes, but how'd she get a palate like that? Well, you know, experience. Nodak, I'm still annoyed at that cow question on Family Feud. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. It sounds vaguely familiar, though. Damn it. I can't remember. Oh, well. You know, we're getting close to Halloween, and, you know, with Halloween comes costumes and stuff like that. Pretty much it's just become It's supposed to be about, trick or treat and all that kind of ghost stories and horror movies and stuff like that. And you have your little parties. But the costumes became a big thing about it because, it's like the costume party. Costume parties were a thing that happened all the time. But boy, Halloween has become like the Super Bowl of costume parties, Because you don't even have to dress up like a monster or anything. You can dress up like anything. And so people, they really took to costumes, not just the kids. I mean, these were people who did it while they were kids, and now they're adults, and they can't let the costumes go. It's all for fun, but sometimes it could be something else. Man in puppy costume strangled youth. Yeah, this. A 46-year-old employee wearing an inflatable dog costume outside a Florida puppy store allegedly strangled a bike-riding juvenile with whom he had an ongoing dispute. Rodney Plathey, who works at Sunshine Puppies in Clearwater, was outside the business early Friday morning or evening when multiple juveniles rode by on bicycles. At the time, Plathey, a registered sex offender, was wearing a puppy suit costume. The business is adjacent to a busy roadway, and the costume worker, a la sign spinner, serves to attract the attention of passing motorists. Investigators allege that Plathey, who had previously tangled with the young riders, waved the juveniles over to him. Plathey was joined outside by the puppy store proprietor. As the owner was addressing the group, one of the juveniles sought to ride away. As the owner grabbed the bike's handlebars to prevent a collision with himself, Plathey approached the victim from behind and placed him in a chokehold. The male victim, whose age is not listed in court records, told police he was unable to breathe for a brief period of time until the defendant released him seconds later. Officers were then contacted. Plathey was arrested for battery by strangulation, a felony. The defendant, according to an arrest affidavit, showed an indication of alcohol influence and refused to speak with cops. Well, after 2 days in the county jail, Plathey was freed upon posting $10,000 bond. A judge has ordered him to have no contact with the victim. Plathey has an extensive criminal record with multiple battery convictions as well as convictions for burglary and drug possession. He spent 6 years in prison for a 2013 sexual battery case that resulted in his resignation. Oh, his designation. His resignation. Designation as a sex offender. Plathey returned to state custody and and spent about 30 months behind bars before getting released last October. Well, I wonder why he had to return to custody. He violated the terms of his parole, I guess, but what did he do? I mean, this probably did it as well. I don't know, but he's in a puppy suit. He's a registered sex offender. You're in this cartoonish outfit, and you're waving a bunch of kids over, and then you grab one from behind and choke them out. You just didn't really do any background on this guy, right? This is going to be your guy to wave people in his silly outfit, his, again, very cartoonish character outfit. But it's the kind of thing that really draws in the kids, And This is I mean, look, help's hard to find, I know, but now, I mean, we don't know. We don't get the details. Perhaps the sexual offense refers to an assault on an adult that he did, and that sort of thing. But still, I just don't think this is the guy to be your mascot. No, no. So good luck with that, Sunshine Puppy Place, whatever. And as far as the other guy, he's up the river again. Thank you. Everybody's happy to see everybody. Pillel says, as a dork, one year, a couple years ago on Halloween, I watched The Exorcist in its entirely right before Z turned 50. Or Zai? You mean before you turned 50? All right. Did you think the movie was any good? Spurg Snake, we didn't get the answer either, Nodak. Oh boy, is Nodak going to explain the mystery of the cow? Pallel, how much is that killer in the window? Woof, woof. How much for that killer in the window? Pallel, he looks like Patrick Dempsey. Pallel, sorry, caps lock. Ah, yes. Part-time planning. That's no chokehold. Jeez. He comes up from behind the kid's on his bike. He's in that dog suit with that big inflatable dog in the way, but it didn't stop him. Nodak, I was in band in high school, but I was terrible. They made me register as a sax offender. Oh, no, because then the sax police showed up. Who are you? Who are you? I escorted Bob Dylan to the stage. Who are you? A. Thompson, Doug, does your store sell liquor? It used to. We sell, there is still some wine and that kind of thing, but no whiskey, none of that. The rest, beer. A. Thompson, there is a new Exorcist. Yeah, but no one cares. A classic's gonna classic, forever. That's what happens. Tass, the resident artist, says, love chew dub. God, I had no idea. I'm at the end of the show early. I got to talk to Tass, because this is important. I mean, we're both artists. There's probably quite the connection there. All this time, there she was, and oh wait, that's just your tagline. Oh, no, yeah, of course. I love you too, Taz. Yeah. Taz gives a skull emoji to Nodak. Pellel, I can't post my comment. YouTube is striking it. Well, that's YouTube. They tend to like that sort of thing. A salute to Taz from Nodak. Taz says, Pell. A. Thompson says, Alien Earth is getting hate on the YouTube reviews. Yeah, I saw some of it. I didn't listen to any of them because, time constraints and the soap opera I live in. But, yeah, I mean, look, there's things to criticize in it, but I don't know. It's had some good episodes. And I mean, I imagine the immediate response to the last recent episode is that they're just ripping off Alien and stuff. It's within that world, those ships and everything. The crew they're going to look very similar to what you saw in Alien. Yeah. And then the elements of the show's overall story are expanded upon in that. So it's not just a cheap ripoff like, Strange New Worlds or something like that. You know, but look, it's like you got to be amazing. You got to be damn near perfect to win anybody over these days. You can't just be good. And for Alien, I think that's true doubly so because so much, I've gone over this ad nauseum. All the sequels, with the exception of the second movie, are pretty bad. To follow up on the excellence that Alien and Aliens achieved, and so far it's like Alien Earth might be the one that does better than the rest, but it's still going to be a distant third from those two, and I've accepted that from the get-go. But I guess for others, and this is just my speculation, like I said, I didn't read or watch the reviews, what points they're making. But if it's just that, I think it's a weak argument. Taz says, Dub, no, I can't. And then what? I got to turn on Taz and, rant and rave, get all creepy and weird. A. Thompson, oh no. Taz has laughing emojis. You mock me. You took my heart, ripped it out, wiped your ass with it, and flushed it down the commode. Hello, hey Taz. Hey Thompson, they are hating on how dumb the crew of the ship is. Well, yeah, they are dumb. Yeah, I mean that is within the context that they are a terrible crew. They're awful. And it's like Morrow's the only professional there. And especially, I mean, some of it, I think it's a hard thing to buy that the doctors would go in to the engineering apprentice like that and not wear masks. So then the ticks fart in their face and they're like, and then their eyes are bleeding. I mean, good Lord. I mean, there's been a lot of really serious, stinking gassers, but none of them have made your eyes bleed, but still, you're doctors. You're supposed to know better than that, But overall, it still kind of fits in because, there was demonstrations of just, this crew was crap. You had that weirdo in there. He's not a synth. I mean, for him to react that way to the xenomorph when it finally did him justice, I think you can throw that out the window. He's just this weirdo. I think they probably should have solidified that a little more because I think Hawley gave an interview where he was talking about it in the sense that, hey, could be this guy who in the old days, it was your options were go to prison or sign up and go to Vietnam to fight in the war. And a lot of that would happen. That would be a deal they would make for criminals. And he could be, he's this criminal pervert. And they said, hey, go into deep space for 60 some odd years. Everybody will be dead when you come back. Of course, in his position, it's probably nobody cares for the guy anymore. So he's like, yeah, I'll take the deal. Plus he gets paid, plus he gets to, creep on this pretty girl in her panties in the cryo chamber. Stuff like that. And that's why they have such a terrible crew, because they're not the best. Most people are like, yeah, it's a lot of money, but holy crap, 60 years? Spurg says, Tess! Part-time planting Alien Earth. I'm enjoying it overall. Yeah, it's, now, of course, saying, hey, it's better than some, well, that's not saying much. But anyway, it's, I mean, it could go south very quickly, but I don't think it's ready to be given a verdict just yet. Hey, Thompson, what kind of people are you going to get to throw away their lives? They are space truckers. Yeah, but It's just because I'm a space trucker. I'm going to do this because I'm a space trucker. And it's like, everybody you know will be dead. You know, yeah, you'll be rich, but everybody you know will be dead. Tass says Thompson Snackaroo. Pale Ale, that guy's kind. Pale Ale should be destroyed. You mean the yogurt guy? Yeah. Part-time planning. Don't forget Strange New Worlds tomorrow. Oh yeah, I didn't even put out I got to do my review of the previous episode. Yeah, I'll get there. Anyway, Thompson, the entire critique was how dumb the crew was. They went to Yatani University, dumbed down to accept a 64-year assignment. Hey, Thompson, I really think the season finale of Alien Earth is Predator Badlands. I don't know about that. I think they'll probably tease connections, but I don't know that they'll end with I don't know, an end credit thing and they're on the Predator planet. I don't know. Task resident artist Rip. Ha ha. Hey, Thompson, the dumbness is the feature, not the flaw. Yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, that's true. The handling of it, Part-time planning. The chick that became captain stood at the med window for ages. Yeah, she wasn't a great captain. She was pretty terrible. But I wasn't really happy with her performance here and there. Maybe she's great in other stuff. And some of that's not really her fault. There, when the xenomorph is chasing her, they didn't shoot that well. That doesn't work. But nevertheless, she's compromised because she was in love with the science officer, and that's all she's really thinking about. She can't concentrate on nothing because he's done, Sabrino's Espresso, LOL. If I lived the space like, I'd want to be a captain of my own starship on Star Trek. Well, it is the best ship, a hell of a lot better than anything on Alien. You got all those replicators and stuff. You can beam down here and there. Stuff like that. And you can get where you're going really fast. It doesn't take 60 years to go to some of these planets. It might take 5 years overall. That's not too bad. Pale Ale, I typed gold something. Hey, Thompson, the behind the scenes of Alien Earth. The alien is only wearing the helmet. The rest is CGI. Yeah. Yeah, I thought maybe some of that, it was a suit, like they did in the olden days, but I guess not. But, it cuts corners. It saves money. Whatever, if it looks good on screen, but I think still you're using the helmet and stuff and some amount of elements of practical effects married with CGI is the best approach, in my humble opinion. Yes. This is true. All right. Our next contestant for this lovely night of Nailsin News is this terrible love triangle story. Couple lured man's ex-girlfriend out of bar on St. Patrick's Day, drove her to alley, and executed her. Yeah, this is the ex-girlfriend. And what's that? Is that a star on the top of his head? He's Starhead? And his, I guess, wife. I don't know. A California man and woman are headed to prison after a jury found them guilty of the murder of his ex-girlfriend after they lured her out of a bar on St. Patrick's Day last year and shot her to death. Margarita Jimenez, 34, and Jorge Gafares, I guess, I don't know, 38, were convicted of first-degree murder in the death of Yaneli Vargas. The ordeal began on March 17th, 2024, when Garfias received a phone call from the 35-year-old Vargas as he and Jimenez watched TV. Jimenez heard a female's voice on the other line and confronted Garfias about who he was speaking with. Garfias admitted it was Vargas, his ex-girlfriend, who was out celebrating St. Patrick's Day at a nightclub in Oxnard, some 60 miles west of Los Angeles. Jimenez reportedly testified she was tired of the drama. She said she felt as if Garfias and Vargas were rekindling their relationship. Well, probably. I felt anger. I felt betrayed. I felt lied to, Jimenez testified. Garfias and Jimenez drove to the nightclub and lured her to his truck via text. They drove Vargas to an alley in an industrial area where an argument turned physical and the suspects beat the victim. Vargas got out of the truck and tried to run away, but the suspects followed her in Garfias' truck. She confronted Vargas. I was sad mad, Jimenez said. I was hostile with her. Surveillance video showed Jimenez exit the truck, run after Vargas, and shoot her dead in the chest. She tried to shoot her again, but the gun jammed. Neighbors called 911 when they saw a man and a woman arguing, and dispatchers heard the gunshot. Cops rushed to the scene and found Vargas dead. In addition to the gunshot wound, she also suffered from blunt force trauma and signs of strangulation. Investigators found a blood trail and a spent 9mm shell casing and acrylic nails that were later tied to Jimenez. There was also a blood-stained yellow rope near the victim. Cops arrested the suspect about 2 weeks after the murder. A trial, special allegations, and aggravating factors starts Monday. So, that's the deal. He was still in contact. Old Starhead was still in contact with the ex-girlfriend. You know, he just couldn't let go. And then the wife heard a girl's voice over his phone, and who the hell is that? And he's like, is it Vargas? And he's like, yeah. And there you go. That was it. So they lured her out. I wonder how they managed that. Of course, said she was celebrating St. Patrick's Day at a bar, so maybe she was a little tipsy and not thinking quite straight. But she gets in the truck with him. She's got to know the wife hates her guts, you know. Hey, let's go to this cool place for, I don't know. And, well, yeah. So they're going to prison. That's that. Get rid of that story. New episode out here in 19 hours, says A. Thompson. No, Dak. I'd like to be the captain of the killer clowns from outer spaceship. A big top circus tent. Yeah, but you got to hang out with all those clowns. A. Thompson, the crime there is so violent now. You mean, where was this again? I forget. A. Thompson, Reddit has the uncensored videos. It's just shocking. It's worse than Kandahar in 2005. Wow. Pell, tired of the drama? Create more drama. Yeah, they got, boy, you're going to be living in a, well, of course you're going to be stuck in a cell. Some girl who probably looks a lot like her is going to make you her bitch. You know, great going, stupid. Hey, Thompson, you are safer in Baghdad than a train in Carolina. Yeah, no shit. That's true. Hey, Thompson, gotta keep the gun clean. Pell, that's a Spanish gilly overhearing Carm talk to a woman. Part-time planting sounds a bit harsh to some, but give the two murderers what they gave the victim. Well, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Thompson, they will be out of prison soon. Well, yeah, probably. Yeah. It's interesting because, you know, he didn't kill the woman. He's an accessory to it. So I wonder if he gets less time. But usually, if the guy, the woman usually gets out, but she's the one who actually did it. Even after she killed her, she wanted to shoot her some more. Yeah. Because she didn't really blame her husband too much because, stupid men, they can't control their dicks. But women, they know better than that. And that's probably the attitude. St. Ranger, clean your pistol. Well, not right now. Hey, Thompson, at least in Baghdad, you know when they want to kill you. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they talk about it all the time. If you don't know by now. Boy, this is, this one's pretty disgusting. It's pretty bad. So you've been warned. Michigan doctor allegedly asks undercover mom for permission to groom her 5-year-old child. According to the Port St. Lucie Police Department, Michigan authorities arrested Michigan family practice Dr. William J. Murdoch. He's accused of chatting online with someone he thought was a mother in Florida, but who was really an undercover officer, about explicit abuse of her fictitious 5-year-old child. Is this just the script? Yeah, okay. According to Port St. Lucie Police, the investigation began in June 2025. Or is it June 2nd? I don't know. At the time, Murdoch allegedly began to communicate with the mother, pursuing a platonic relationship with the woman. While encouraging her to allow him to abuse her child. The Port St. Lucie update said, during the course of the investigation, stomach-churning messages were exchanged that entailed his plan to groom the child and quickly turn the situation sexual. Murdoch goes into detail of his demented behavior that is too explicit to share in its entirety. However, it varied in having a sexual relationship in multiple ways. The investigation also revealed Murdoch's explicit dark web searches on topics like conception, full-term abortions, and intentional drug and alcohol use to cause birth defects. Okay. I mean, he's a doctor, shouldn't he already know? In Murdoch's iCloud account, the Post added additional conversations were located, revealing his training as a medical professional would assist in other alarming dark web hunts. This again is too explicit to share in its entirety. That's okay. I don't need to know all that. Based on that evidence, authorities issued a warrant for Murdoch's arrest and took him into custody in Michigan while he awaits extradition to Florida. Murdoch's Michigan employer, ProMedica Monroe Regional Hospital in Monroe, Michigan, told CBS News, we can confirm that on September 2nd, the U.S. Marshals arrested Dr. William J. Murdoch. This arrest triggered an immediate suspension of Dr. Murdoch's hospital privileges, well, I would think so, and a termination of all activity involving the physician. We are supporting investigation efforts in this case. Our priority is the safety and care of our patients and their families. So he's suspended, but not fired. I mean, look, it's still a little impressive than what, how long it takes to fire a teacher, But, they're doing that. So maybe he's suspended without pay. That could be, that's it. But there you go. a family doctor, wanting to discuss families and stuff in this platonic relationship with a woman in Florida. And he says, "Hey, do you have any pictures of your child?" Yeah. And then goes into gratuitous detail about what he wants to do. Yeah. And he's supposed to be this doctor, and yet, man, you walked right into that, didn't you? But they can't control themselves. They're monsters. So I guess it's not to be too surprising, no matter what backgrounds they have, And hey, works out because the intended victim never existed. So it's a win-win for everybody. And that's it for Dr. Murdoch. A. Thompson. Oh, OMG. ... WTF is happening there? You mean the doctor? He's a creepy piece of shit. That's what's happening. Part-time planting. Click, click. Boom. Yeah. St. Ranger, not much of a family doctor. No, he just wanted that title because, access and stuff. That's how they do it. Of course, he could have just become a teacher and probably would have, yeah. Look, I know that teachers, most are really good people and all that sort of thing, but it should be easier to fire people, especially when there's video and everything, but in some states it is, but in others, geez Louise. What am I doing? I'm doing, oh yeah, the next story. And this one, oh yeah. Now, I already did the puppy pervert, and then I put Angel of Death in the title as well. Well, guess what the next story is? The Angel of Death. Yeah. Angel of Death is arrested after driving 2,100 miles in car full of knives, stun gun, and a sword to do Lord's reaping. The Angel of Death, I would have thought would be the Grim Reaper. They finally caught that bastard, but knives, stun gun, sword. What about the scythe? Well, let's find out. A man who believed he was Michael, the Angel of Death. I thought Michael was like the captain of the angels and stuff, not the Angel of Death. Anyway, he's been arrested after allegedly loading his car with weapons, driving across the country, and threatening a church. Officials said they prevented a tragedy after cuffing Joshua Michael Richardson, 38, on August 28th, and uncovering a stash of gun magazines, knives, brass knuckles, and a sword in his car. Oh. All right, I'm looking at a picture of his supplies. There's a vest, there's some shoes, some backpacks. There's the sword, I guess, a couple other knives, magazines, but no gun. I mean, the ammo's useless without the gun. So, yeah, he looks pretty nutty. Almost looks like Heaven's Gate type level. Richardson left his home in rural Alabama and drove 2,100 miles to St. Michael's. Oh, see, the Michael. His middle name is Michael, so that might have been the start of the obsession. To St. Michael's Abbey in Orange County, California, to confront church staff. The man appeared to have a fixation on churches, yes, here we go, named after Saint Michael, as he believed he was the biblical angel of the same name. In Catholic teachings, Michael is believed to carry the souls of the dead to heaven. Oh, well, all right. So I guess he is the angel of death. On August 19th, before driving across the country, Richardson emailed the Abbey and said, He was the rider of the pale horse, in an apparent reference of the four horsemen in the apocalyptic book of Revelation. Now, you see, that's like reading the Revelation book of Revelation. Yeah. Anyway, he said that he was sent to do the Lord's reaping before his harvest. The Abbey didn't respond to the now bone-chilling email. So on August 26th, Richardson attended an afternoon church service at the Abbey and followed a priest into a private area afterwards. The suspect then told the priest that he had come to do the Lord's work, to separate the weak from the weeds, and that he rode his white pale horse from Alabama. 2 days later, Richardson was arrested after investigators determined the situation had every indication of turning very, very dangerous. After searching his truck, cops discovered a stun gun, brass knuckles, knives, 6 high-capacity gun magazines, body armor, duct tape, rope, walkie-talkies, and a sword. In the weeks leading up to the incident, Richardson shared his disturbing religious views in videos posted on his Instagram. At one point, he raged at Catholics for praying the Hail Mary, saying, "What are you thinking?" Hail Mary, I guess. I don't know. "You are putting the Earth Mother of Christ on the same pedestal as the Almighty Father. Repent at once." Richardson's arrest came just 1 day after a deranged 23-year-old shooter sprayed bullets through the windows of a Catholic church in Minneapolis and killed 2 children as they prayed. Yeah, that guy didn't think he was an angel. He thought he was a woman. Yeah. Or at least did for a while or something. I don't know. The FBI said the shooting, which also injured 21 people, including 18 children, is being investigated as a terror attack and hate crime against Catholics. Yeah, okay. In a statement, Spitzer, I forgot who that is. Well, anyway, he said, "The walls of our churches are not just symbols of sanctuary. They represent the most sacred places of worship and of peace. No one should have to worship in fear that a stranger would walk through the door with the intent to carry out their own day of judgment and determine who lives and who dies. A threat on one house of worship is an attack on every place of worship, and we refuse to allow threats and terror dissuade any person from practicing their faith without fear. Public safety is all our responsibility, and we are grateful for the quick action of the church officials and the sheriff's department to prevent another tragedy from occurring." Richardson has been charged with 1 felony count of criminal threats, 1 felony count of possession of brass knuckles, 1 felony count of possession of a dirk or dagger, and 1 misdemeanor count of possession of a large capacity magazine. His bail was set at $50,000. Okay, that's the district attorney's statement. Oh boy, it goes on and on and on. So I guess that's who Spitzer was anyway. And we get the deal. He's a nut, Oops, hit that too soon. But, it's one of the old saying, if the guy's on Instagram going on about crazy stuff and I'm going to reap, because I'm the reaper or whatever, you just got to believe him. Probably what happened is like he talked to that priest and the priest is like, "Whoa." And there you go. See? Prevented that mess. Senator says, geez, no machetes. Yeah, they were calling it a sword, but I don't know. That kind of looked more like a machete. I mean, anyway, large mags. Yeah, but again, where's the gun? Hey, Thompson, that is Hellgate X. St. Ranger, he had the robe. That's a good start. Well, there you go. That's all you need. My middle name's Michael. I have a robe. I'm the Angel Michael. A. Thompson, I wonder what his time was. 2,100 miles is nothing to sneeze at. That is a gumball rally. Well, he's determined to go to this church in California. I mean, there's got to be other Catholic churches in between there that are called St. Michael. It's church or whatever, you know. But I don't know. He zeroed in on that one. A. Thompson, Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota probably has churches like that. A. Thompson, does that guy have a YouTube channel where he yells at Chad all night? Quite says he was doing Instagram videos. I don't know. A. Thompson, I will smite you, Pell. You're up against the angel of death. A. Thompson, LOL. LOL. Everybody's LOLing. No, A. Thompson, Nodak, you'll be smited from a real god. Nodak, I've been told to don't fear the Reaper. Well, in this case, that priest thought, better fear this one. I'm going to call the sheriff. And what do you know? It all worked out. I don't know. A good lawyer could probably still get him off, though. He's like, look, I didn't do nothing. I just had a collection of unique items. Well, not all that unique. Lots of people have these things. And again, I didn't do nothing. Yeah, but you cray, you look. That's pretty cray. Man runs over woman with SUV after she refused to allow him to smell her feet. Oh, boy. He just wanted a sniff. A rendezvous at a Florida hotel turned violent when a man ran over a woman after she refused to allow him to smell her feet. The incident unfolded around 2 p.m. on August 24th at the Serena Hotel in Aventura, about 20 miles north of Miami. A probable cause arrest. The victim told cops she began speaking to a man named El Monsi Circle on the dating app Seeking, and they agreed to meet at the hotel. When she went up to the room, 28-year-old Circle allegedly asked to smell her feet and buy her used shoes. The victim told Circle it would cost him $1,000 as she's a foot model, and that's her going rate. She told him that the sneakers are in her car and she had to go get them. And she reportedly stated that she went to use the restroom and saw Circle run out of the room. Thinking he stole something from her, the victim chased him to the parking garage. Once she got there, she saw him in a red Mercedes SUV. He passed her and allegedly stopped, did a 3-point turn, and then ran over the victim. She suffered road rash and bruising to her back, arms, and chest, which required immediate medical attention. Circle allegedly fled the scene, but was later arrested on a charge of aggravated battery. The local affiliate talked to the victim. She said, when I got there, he just wanted to sniff my feet, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. I mean, you could have my sneakers all you want. I mean, I don't care. I'm not wearing them. And you know, they're just stinky old sneakers. But people like weird things. She called the incident extremely bizarre. I've never experienced anything like this before. I've met a lot of people who have foot fetishes, obviously, and nobody has ever done anything to this caliber. But she's thankful she survived. By the grace of God, I'm still standing today, standing on her beautiful feet. Circle has since bonded out of jail and will have to appear in court later. Cops said Circle has several other open cases in Miami-Dade County. Really? For allegedly meeting women on dating apps, getting a hotel, and then robbing them of their possessions. right. So he's just stealing their shoes. He just wants women's shoes. Yeah. So she says, "Hey, I'm not down for you sniffing my feet." But come on, you were down there for But he really wanted those shoes, damn it. Ooh. Well, that's dedication for you. Yeah, I'm not just a John. I'm a foot whatever. Part-time planting has a smiling emoji. A. Thompson, what is wrong with the ladies there? Just a sniff. Yeah. Wow. I mean, full on doggy style, what have you? Fine, but don't you sniff those toes. A. Thompson, oh, here is the key info. She is a foot model. Yeah, it's kind of like she's been at work all day and now, she's like, man, can't we just have sex that doesn't involve my feet just for once? But he's like, that's your best feature. Oh, part-time planning fled the scene with her shoes. A. Thompson, she chased him. She chased him on those gorgeous feet. Is that A. Thompson? There is a movie about smell kinks on Netflix. Perfume. Good movie. It sounds horrible. A. Thompson, give him the shoes. What the fuck? He would have bought you a new pair. Yeah. Oh, I have, what is it, the Rumble Rat. I think you say Ranger for $7. I thought I would help the show by bringing it to you, grinding a halt with this. Howdy, Doug. Hi, Pam. It's not grinding it to a halt. I read it. Thanks, Saint Ranger. Thank you very much. Saint Ranger says, howdy, all. Saint Ranger, grinding halt approaching. It was brief. Don't worry about it. I want to encourage that type of activity. Rumble Rants, make it happen. Rumble Rants, super tip, PayPal. Let's do it. 8 times the guy grinds up ladies and makes perfume out of them. It's a great movie. Watch it. I mean, all this guy did was run over this lady, and she survived. Part-time planning. Howdy. All right, that's it for, oh boy. All right, I'll do it, but probably the worst one. It's easily the worst one of the night. 11-year-old gives birth at home. DNA says stepdad is the father. So 3 people have been arrested after police say an 11-year-old gave birth at her Oklahoma home. In mid-August, an 11-year-old girl was taken to a hospital after authorities said she gave birth at her home in Muskogee County. The girl's mother and stepfather were initially arrested on child neglect charges. Yeah, there wasn't neglect. The parents told authorities they didn't know the girl was pregnant and said she hadn't been to a doctor in over a year. However, DNA results showed the girl's stepfather was the father of the baby. McClatchy News is not naming the parents to protect the identity of the girl. The child is traumatized. She's been through a horrific ordeal. I mean, not only has someone gotten her pregnant, but she gave birth at home without medical assistance. And this will be her life for the rest of her life, said the District Attorney Janet Houston. The stepfather has since been charged with sexual abuse of a child under 12, and the girl's mom has been charged with enabling child sexual abuse. On August 29th, a third person was arrested after police said she knew the girl was pregnant, but failed to report it. If you suspect a child is currently experiencing, or is at risk of experiencing abuse or neglect, your first step should be to contact the appropriate agency. The Child Welfare Information Gateway has a list of state agencies you can contact. Find specific help to your area here. For additional help, the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline has professional crisis counselors available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in over 170 languages. All calls are confidential. The hotline offers crisis intervention, information, and referrals to thousands of emergency social service and support resources. You can call or text at 1-800-422-4453. If you believe a child is in immediate danger, please call 911 for help. So you got no excuses. You got plenty of sources to report on some pregnant little girl. You know? But still, the initial charge was neglect. I guess over the fact that they were claiming they didn't know she was pregnant and she gives birth in their house because it was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. What do we do? What do we do? And then, of course, the other woman, whoever she is, knew about it as well. So, yeah, that's the neglect. But on the part of the stepfather, he didn't neglect her enough, obviously. Good Lord. Is it too far afield to suggest death penalty should be in play for this sort of thing? Yeah. I mean, God. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the worst story of the night. But there it is. And there it goes. Pellel, just getting back at Thompson, you talking about Carm? If so, yes. He yells 80% of the time. Remaining 20%, he plays AI music. Oh, good God. The yelling's the best part. I mean, it's disgusting what he goes into, and some things went way over the line. Otherwise, I would have stayed with my original thing of just leaving him alone because there's something really wrong there, but good Lord. Come on. Thompson, no female teacher news? No. I do have some crazy bitch news, but I'm going to save that for its own special. But none of them are teachers. I don't think. I'll find some, I'm sure. I mean, how long will it take before another $7 from I suppose I need to do the I'm terrible. Geez, where's the sound? Geez, I guess it's in the music thing. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Thank you very much. Saint Ranger says for $7, halt in the name of the law and tips. Yes. Good point, Saint Ranger. Thank you very much. Part-time planning. What a world. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, Thompson, Pellel, one of Doug's stories is a guy that raged at a church and drove there to do God's work. He looked like a streamer. Yeah. Well, I guess he was streaming on, didn't mention YouTube, but said he would do videos on Instagram going on and on about his holy mission and all that. St. Ranger, halt on the horizon. Well, there it was. Pellel, yeah, he doesn't. I'm sorry, Doug. The name of the movie Perfume, the story of a murderer. Was it based on a true story? Hey, Thompson, MFers took it off Netflix. Here, Sob. Yeah, that happens. Of course, with a VPN, I think you can just change your region, and you should be like, you could change it to the United States. I don't know if it's still there. I've never heard of it. It might be. But if it's available on Netflix in other venue or regions, you can still watch it. Oh, yes. A. Thompson, the rants Karmic has are priceless. I listen to Ghost Cox rant once a week to stay level. Ghost Cox. Sid Ranger says, Doug is funny. I know. But remember, looks aren't everything. Hey, Thompson, it was worth watching. Yeah. I mean, look, I've seen the clips and stuff, and they're funny. But to sit through that, I let other people do that. But I do owe him a gratitude of things because it did give me a lot of cartoon ideas. The Karmic X MD thing, that was Pat's idea. So you got to give credit where it's due. And I was like, God damn it. Yeah. Imagine the bedside manner of Karmic's MD. It's just too good. And it's too bad he's all messed up because his voice is actually really good, and if he just would do these rants, I'll just, especially, I'm guessing he probably started out talking about like politics and stuff, didn't he? Or something like that. But just the voice alone, you piece of shit, But the idea that that's the bedside manner of a doctor to his patient. Doug, you diabetic fuck. I'm going to chop your toes off. That kind of thing. I mean, come on. I mean, it would be horrible, for me. But I can't deny it would be hilarious. Yeah, what a world, huh? Anyway, wife 55 fatally shoots husband after argument over changing their open marriage agreement. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's the thing about open marriage. You got to agree on it. If you don't, it just ruins the whole thing. A Georgia woman will spend the rest of her life behind bars after she drunkenly shot and killed her husband amid a dispute over their open marriage. Cheryl Halco, 55, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the June 2021 shooting of Luther Luke Cole III, 48, inside their home. Officials with the Coweta County Sheriff's Office have said they responded at around 7:30 p.m. on June 23rd, 2021, moments after Cheryl reported that she shot her husband when she mistook him for an intruder. In body camera footage from the scene, Cheryl told deputies she drank 4 or 5 ciders while her husband worked in a detached garage before she ultimately took a Klonopin and went to bed. She said when she was woken up a short time later to an unknown person entering her bedroom, which prompted her to grab her pistol from the nightstand. I was just trying to protect myself, Cheryl said in the body cam footage, which was played at her week-long retrial. She went on to claim she did not realize the person entering the room was her husband until he said, Cheryl, you shot me. By the time deputies arrived on the scene, Cheryl was seen applying pressure on her husband's wound, as he told authorities, I can't breathe. He was then rushed to the hospital but soon succumbed to his injuries. Oh, boy. Cheryl's story quickly fell apart, however, when the medical examiner found that Luther had suffered from a contact bullet wound, meaning the rifle was pressed against his body and was not fired from a distance, as his wife had claimed. Investigators then also uncovered lengthy text messages exchanges between the husband and wife in which they appeared to have some issues with their open marriage in the days leading up to the fatal shooting. According to the messages, Cheryl had asked Luther for permission to seek another man later in the week. Luther replied by asking his wife if she was planning on seeing another man as well. Wait. If she was planning on seeing another man as well, to which she replied that she could, ending her message with LOL. Luther then replied that her response turned his stomach, at which point Cheryl proposed ending the open marriage, saying she believed it was the cause of their marital issues. But Luther apparently wanted to keep the open marriage going, and they established more ground rules. Other text messages detailed another dispute between the husband and wife, with her accusing him of telling a friend about their private disagreements. Luther became enraged by the accusation and told his wife he needed some time to himself. Finally, on the day of the shooting, Cheryl said Luther informed her he was ready to talk. But when she returned home from work that night, her husband and his son were still in the detached workshop on their property, and so Cheryl decided to retire to the back porch, where she downed several hard ciders. She said Luther never came back, and after an hour on the porch, she went to bed. When the door then swung open, Cheryl said she fired 2 shots, aiming at the ceiling and behind the television, in hopes that the gunfire would alert her husband in the workshop. But Cheryl was later confronted by the fact that she called 911 just 11 minutes after she claimed she went to bed. The defendant changed her story and admitted she knew it was Luther entering the room. She claimed she could hear his thunderous footsteps and yelling before he entered their bedroom, where she said Luther told her to get her ass out of bed and dragged her from the mattress. I just wanted to be left alone, and he wasn't having it, Cheryl told police. He was dragging me out of bed. When Luther then briefly left the room, Cheryl said she grabbed her pistol and fired a warning shot, which made him angry and aggressive, at which point she fired a second shot to scare him off. I wasn't trying to hit him, she insisted. Cheryl also told police about her and her husband's BDSM practices, saying she was the submissive one, but arguing Luther's behavior that night was different. Taking the stand at her trial, Cheryl reiterated her self-defense claims as she described how her husband had become more aggressive with her. She said he once pulled her leg out from under her as she walked down the porch stairs, causing her to suffer a tear in her buttocks and an indentation that required surgery to fully heal. Cheryl also said their BDSM practices became more violent, even though she asked him to stop. I didn't enjoy the pain, she testified. He would coerce me and tell me I was doing this for him, and it made him happy. On the night of the murder, Cheryl said Luther began to charge at her when she fired the second shot. I never told anyone anything about the bad parts of our relationship, she claimed. Luke had a great reputation, and I did everything I could to protect it. The 48-year-old had his own business, Platinum Demolition and Grading LLC, and had served in the United States Army. But during closing arguments, prosecutor Laura Lucat focused on Cheryl's changing stories and argued that even if her justification for shooting her husband were true, it did not justify the use of deadly force. She brought a gun to a verbal spat, Lucat said. She brought a gun to a situation that might have ended with one of them staying at a friend's. Cheryl was ultimately found guilty on all charges against her. 1 count of malice murder, 1 count of felony murder, and 1 count of aggravated assault. Now, those assaults can prove to be incredibly aggravating. Yeah. Well, I guess she was claiming that he got more and more aggressive with their BDSM stuff. And so when he charged into the bedroom and yanked her out of the bed and all that, that put the fear for her life in it. And shooting him pretty much point blank with the rifle was just an accident. But I guess they didn't buy that. So an argument about the open marriage he was sickened by her going to other men. And she said, well, then maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. He says, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. No, I don't know. Because he wanted to keep banging other chicks, I guess. I don't know. That open marriage stuff, it's plumb stupid. You know better. Grow up, quit doing that. See? I'm smart. Anyway. Besides, next thing you know, you end up, well, going full toe. Don't ever go full toe. Because, you're going to end up tasting the yogurt. A. Thompson, Alien Earth predictions. Well, the kids are going to go nuts, and the aliens are going to attack the humans. I mean, whatever humans they have left, Hey, Thompson, does Wendy walk that xenomorph around the island like a dog? Does the octopus get stomped out? Does Utani nuke new sun? Probably yes to all three. Part-time planning. Is the Toxic Avenger remake going to surpass Titanic success? Nah, probably not. I don't think so. Pell, he'll get in depth and say you were huffing your own diabetic sugar farts. Damn it. Got me again. Hey, Thompson, I see Toxic Avenger posters at the theater. It must be coming soon. Part-time planning. Open marriage, stupid people do stupid things. Pretty much, yeah. Hey, Thompson, what gun and what caliber? Pardon my curiosity. I don't think they didn't list it, did they? I don't know. I already turned off the article, so sorry about that. St. Raider. Okay, pistol. Yeah, I mean, if it was like, to put it at the caliber, he wouldn't have been saying, "Oh, I can't breathe," and so he would have been, splattered on the ground floor. Hey, Dumpson, Patrice O'Neal's joke found out I had diabetes after my girlfriend said my urine tasted like birthday cakes. Does your urine taste like birthday cake? You may be a diabetic. So he's like, this is serious. I'd better go to the doctor. I said, well, it's a good chance you're diabetic. Hey, Thompson, a real man. The open marriage guy? Well, no, like if you don't shape up your life, you might eventually take a trip to the valley of appendicitis. You sack of shit. Hey, Thompson, you meet a lot of open marriage people on vacation in Singapore. I'll bet. They go there and hit the brothels. Hellel. LOL, Patrice was the best. He was indeed. And he had one of the best Christmas stories ever. It's really cool. There's got to be the clip from O&A somewhere on YouTube. I don't know if you just look Patrice O'Neal's Christmas story. Maybe that'll do it, but jeez. It's a good one. Part-time planning. Women love watching crime stories, mainly for ideas, I believe. I don't know. I think it's a fascination with fear because they're vulnerable in a lot of cases. Part-time planting salty yogurt. I didn't ask. Hey, Thompson. OMG, Doug has a great karmic impression. Do I? I've heard other people do it a little better. There's that one. I mean, Pat does this clip where he sped it up, so he sounds very cartoonish. But it was about him saying, why do people want me to shut up? Why do they want to shut me up? Why? And then he kind of gets to his conclusion with, fuck you. Fuck you. It kind of does to the virtual camp. That makes no sense at all. Karma got me again. All right, I'm sorry. I won't do it anymore. Shit, what was I talking about? Oh, the clip that Pat does. Yeah, it's got that. It's rather subtle, but it's there. Like, Anyway, Pell, that sped up clip is the best. LOL every time. Yeah, Pat's good at that stuff. He did a lot of these videos where he manipulates. There's this one he does with an old clip of Bill Maher's show. Damn. It's great. St. Ranger says, hey, Pell, the U. Oh, yeah. The U stumbles off. Yeah. Bird64 says, hello, Bird. Everybody's saying hi to Bird. You are back. Gone for 6 seconds. Yeah, I know. It's an EV Mux thing. I don't know. It suddenly, it mutes my mic and then switches my camera from OBS to the regular camera, which is not going to show anything because OBS is running. I don't know why it does that. I don't know. A. Thompson, B. Dabbler has the best Felicia impressions. He's really good at impressions, so he's got Felicia. It is so far off, but so dead on. I can't really explain why it's funny. It doesn't sound anything like it. Well, yeah, he's got a man's voice, but I mean, maybe like she's got a certain accent to her and stuff. So maybe he's getting that. I haven't heard his impression of her. I heard his Chad and stuff like that. All right. Back to the news. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Woman ends up dead in canal after she cheated on husband as revenge for his suspected infidelity. Well, fair's fair, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I don't know. A Florida man is behind bars after his wife was found dead in a canal near their home following an argument over infidelity. Jeffrey Ernest Evans, 43, is not currently facing charges in the death of his wife. Do you mean now? You got to put a W, not a T in there. Of his wife, Jessica Evans. Rather, he stands accused. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. They had it right. He's not currently facing charges in the death of his wife, Jessica Evans. Rather, he stands accused of domestic violence battery after she told him she cheated on him because she suspected he did the same. Jeffrey Evans called 911 shortly before 9 p.m. to say his wife was having a mental break and needed help at their home in the 9900 block of Northwest 15th Court in Coral Springs. A few minutes later, dispatchers received a call from a neighbor who said he heard a woman screaming, "My husband is trying to kill me." Cops responded to the scene and found the woman's body floating face down in a nearby canal. She was later pronounced dead. After receiving his Miranda warnings, the husband told cops that he and his wife began arguing the previous night after she accused him of infidelity. She left and did not come home that night. He said she returned the next day and told him she got revenge by cheating on him. On the night of her death, she apparently tried to wrestle away her husband's laptop so she could search for evidence of his cheating. This led to a scuffle, and she fell on the ground. The defendant said he thought things had cooled down and they were moving on. He said they went into the bedroom together and that he stepped out of the room for a moment and she was gone when he returned. Jeffrey Evans went outside and found her running between two houses across the street yelling, "Help, he's going to kill me!" He tried to restrain her and take her back inside, but realized it would appear to an outsider that he was the aggressor in this situation. Since she was yelling about him, he said that he ran back inside and called 911. The investigation remains ongoing. Cops have not yet released the cause and manner of death. He remains in the Broward County Jail on $1,000 bond. Huh. Well, this is interesting. So, of course, the clincher here will be the cause of death. Did she just get all tanked up and was all crazy and messed up, and he didn't really cheat on her at all, and she was just went off and found some idiot and banged him, and now I don't know, and then is running around nuts, stumbles and falls into the canal? Is it full of water and she drowned? I don't know. Did she just have a stroke? Could be anything. So I guess this will have to be a to be continued report. Whether I continue it or not, I don't know. Odds are I'll never hear from it again. But anyway, as the case goes, there's no conviction here. Therefore, all suspects are innocent until proven guilty. That's it for that one. Bird64 says hi. Everybody's saying hi. KB. Bedabbler's KB impression is funny. They lived on the canal in Coral Springs. That is a nice spot to live. St. Ranger, she fell on the ground. It's Florida. It can go either way. Yeah, that's true. You just never know. Which is why I say benefit of the doubt still applies. Yeah. What's this guy's problem? Oh yeah, another one suspecting the other of an affair. But was it? Husband gunned down Marine on college campus because he thought he was having an affair with his wife. Oh boy. An Oklahoma husband has been found guilty of gunning down a man he believed was having an affair with his wife, despite his wife's denials. Brandon Morissette, 32, was convicted by a jury of first-degree murder for the shooting death of Robini R.J. Long in 2023. Oklahoma County District Attorney Vicky Bahena announced the murder happened on the Rose State College campus in Midwest City. Morissette confronted Long, 20, as he was walking out of a building with Morissette's wife, who was also a student at the school. Morissette apparently believed that Long was having an affair with his wife. Investigators said Morissette's wife told police that Long was a classmate and a friend. At his funeral in April 2023, friends and family remembered Long, who had served in the Marines since graduating from high school in 2021. They remembered him as a local hero. RJ courageously defended a fellow student at Rose State College from a gunman. A pastor who knew Long personally said at Long's memorial service, before RJ died, he fought with superhuman determination without a thought for his own life. The pastor, David McBride, said that Long had previously saved a woman's life after their car careened off the road and flipped over in a ditch. RJ gave no thought to his life and somehow got her unbuckled out of the seatbelt, pulled her out of the water. Long passed away after sacrificing himself to save another. So was the husband trying to kill the wife instead? And the guy got in the way. I don't know. Morissette faces a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. The verdict came after jurors heard evidence that Morissette shot Long 7 times outside the Humanities building on campus. Long died at the scene. Morissette was immediately taken into custody after the shooting. The jurors delivered their verdict just after hours of deliberations and recommended that he serve a life sentence for the murder. For Long's mother, the verdict provided a degree of relief. I am so thankful to the jury that we had. I was just praying for them as they were leaving to go deliberate. I think they made the right choices. I'm so thankful for our judicial system and thankful for our jurors. Morissette's attorneys signaled their intent to appeal. Morissette was also convicted of possession of a firearm on school property, for which the DA recommended a sentence of 1 year. Well, in a separate case, Morissette reportedly faces charges of possessing child sexual abuse material. Yeah, look, he blatantly murdered this man. Life sentence? Plus he's a perv? Come on. You got the death penalty. If you're going to have a death penalty, use it! Jeez. Anyway. Well, that's that love story. You know, and with a guy like that, if his wife was having an affair with this Marine, good for her. It's too bad he died. 8,000 people get into women there. Get too into women there. You men need to get out more. Putting that shit on a pedestal is just dumb. Well, you know, infatuation, love, and all that is a form of insanity. Saint Ranger, another Looney Tune who should have been limited to squirt guns and rubber band shooters. Yeah, those are probably banned too. A. Thompson, men there want to smell them. It's just odd. Pillell, he was revved up by You Ought to Know by Alanis before he realized, although both Morissettes, they were not related. You ought to know. Was that what he was screaming while he was pulling the trigger? Hey, Thompson, who really cares if the woman wants to walk away? Hit the road. Good luck with the Marine. Yeah, I know. It's like, you know, I kind of understand it. You know, I mean, look what they found on his computer. Yeah. He's a piece of shit. All right. Yeah. Gonna need a jungle. Gonna need a jingle like that. Somebody get on that. And, well, I guess this is an example of people playing stupid games. Friends took turns shooting each other in the head while wearing a Kevlar helmet until one died and the other was charged with murder. A 37-year-old man in Texas has been arrested for killing his 34-year-old friend while the two men were allegedly taking turns donning a Kevlar helmet and shooting each other in the head with a rifle. Sean O'Donnell was taken into custody and charged with 1 count of murder in the slaying of Aaron Prout. According to a news release from the Harris County Sheriff's Office, deputies from Precinct 4 on Sunday, August 17th, received a call at a home located in the 23,000 block of Pennington Hills Drive in Spring, Texas, about 225 miles southeast of Dallas. At the scene, first responders said they located a man later identified as Prout, who had suffered a gunshot wound to the head. Emergency medical personnel arrived at the scene and transported the victim to a hospital for treatment. Prout succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead. You usually do get pronounced dead when you succumb to your injuries, you know. According to the sheriff's office, Prout was a citizen of the United Kingdom who had been residing in Harris County. The owner of the home was identified as O'Donnell. Sheriff's detectives said that Prout's fatal gunshot wound was originally thought to be self-inflicted. Authorities did not reveal what, if anything, O'Donnell told investigators regarding Prout's death. But apparently contradictory evidence was uncovered that led police in a different direction. Antoinette initially came in as a possible suicide, but things were adding up, the release states. With thorough follow-up investigation, the truth was ultimately revealed. The sheriff's Violent Criminal Apprehension Team, VCAT, assisted in O'Donnell's arrest. Hard to believe two so-called friends would take turns shooting at each other wearing a Kevlar helmet. Sadly, it's not that hard to inside a house in a residential neighborhood while using a rifle. It was not immediately clear if O'Donnell had retained an attorney, he'd better, to represent him in the matter. However, records show that O'Donnell was arrested on August 21st and charged with driving under the influence. Law and Crime reached out to attorney Adam Wayne Capatillo, who is listed in court documents as representing, well, then he has representation. I mean, if you just mean he didn't hire one, okay, but anyway, in that case, and the other, okay, I'm sorry, I got it wrong, but you didn't spell it. I mean, it's like that's how he initially got arrested. I think he got arrested at the scene, right? I mean, yeah, they thought it was a suicide, so they picked him up. Wait a minute, damn it all! The shooting took place August 17th, so then they bust him for a DUI on August 21st. And then they're like, hey, we're looking over this detail about your buddy that you shot in the head. We originally thought he shot himself in the head, but looks like you did. And then somehow you got this idea that they were playing this game. So I don't know if this Capatillo is representing him in the murder charge. Jail records do not show O'Donnell in custody, and it was not immediately clear when he would be scheduled to appear in court. Well, that's weird. And there's no details here that they were playing a game. I mean, how did you get that? And he said, well, they didn't really reveal the details of the interrogation. So, I mean, they did have the Kevlar helmet, so there is that. And I assumed the victim was like wearing it, and he pointed the gun at you're supposed to point it at the Kevlar part. You're not supposed to do it at all, of course, but I guess I'm going to conclude this isn't a well-written article, or just the fact that they don't have enough details. But somehow, some way, they got the idea that they were doing this Russian roulette game. I don't know. Not enough there. So once again, no convictions just yet. So all suspects are innocent until proven guilty. That's the law. Who really cares? Yeah. What won a Thompson Darwin Award? I guess. Pell isn't murder, malicious intent. Should it be first degree manslaughter by stupidity? Yeah, I guess so. That would be his best bet. If this description of what supposedly happened is true, they're just two idiots horsing around. And he's like, I was stupid. And, he's going to plead not guilty by reason of stupidity, or, throw himself on the mercy of the court. I'm guilty, but I'm stupid, Your Honor. And get a deal. Maybe. Pell limeys don't know guns. Well, St. Ranger, not designed for rifles, more appropriate for pistol, submachine gun ammo, and best for one shot, not multiple. Yeah, but I would skip the whole thing, That reminds me that I need to look that up. There's an old news clip, and it's really old. It might be early 80s or something like that, where they were demonstrating the bulletproof vest. And so this reporter agreed to let this guy shoot him. So he's wearing the vest, and the guy with the gun, it's a pistol. He says, okay, you ready? I'm going to shoot you now. Okay. You're right. He's warning and said, yeah, go ahead. The reporter is standing there, as I recall it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but almost like in a Superman pose. So the guy shoots him and he's like, oh shit, fuck. They had to bleep it and all. You know. So yes, the bullet didn't penetrate him. It probably, no doubt, broke some ribs. The impact, is incredible. That's, you're being hit by a sledgehammer. The bullet did not penetrate him. But holy crap! It's like, geez, Louise, come on. How did you? He thought it was going to be like Superman, where it just bounces off and that tickles. No, it's going to hurt and could still kill you. I mean, break your ribs, bone fragments, whatever. It was actually kind of a stupid thing to do, but they did it. Pell, when would they decide to stop? You mean the two idiots? Well, they decided to stop after the one guy died. Hey, Thompson, those Kevlar helmets are from Afghanistan, 2005. They cooked in shipping containers for 20 years. They are no longer serviceable. Do they sell them on Temu and stuff like that? Pell, interesting point. Well, see, that's the other thing. It says they were playing this idiot game. So how many shots did they get off doing that? And then eventually, I guess, he found the soft spot, Hey, Thompson, they kept some containers in Kuwait for 3 years. It's 140 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade there. Inside a container, it can exceed 200. Hey, Thompson, you get those from government auctions. Hey, Thompson, Robert Blake was horsing around. Hey, Thompson, new reporters are the best. That one that got into shallow water with the bull sharks and lost his entire calf muscle. I have that footage saved somewhere. Just Darwin Award worthy. Well, I got to see that. Hey, Thompson, the game is I shoot you, you shoot me. Fun game. Never played it. Yeah, me neither. As evidence that I'm here talking. Very much alive. Yeah, that's the evidence. God, how many times you got to do this before you learn how? Never. There we go. And here's something for our modern age. First, AI murder after Chat GPT fed businessman's delusions his mother was spying on him before he killed her. A businessman murdered his own mom after Chat GPT convinced him she was a spy who wanted to poison him. Stein Eric Soilberg also took his own life after his wildest paranoia was reportedly encouraged by a chatbot in what is being described as the world's first AI murder. Well, that we know of. This is mom, I guess. I don't know. Good Lord, he got all roided up too, apparently. That's mom again. Soilberg from Connecticut had become convinced that his mother, Suzanne Adams, was spying on him and wanted to poison him. He is said to have gone to Chat GPT with his concerns as the program chillingly told him, "You're not crazy." Hey, that was Chat's first mistake. It told the unemployed 56-year-old that a receipt for Chinese food contained 3 symbols, which represent his 83-year-old mother, a demon, and intelligence agencies. The program had also suggested Adams had tried to poison Soilberg with a psychedelic drug. The former senior marketing manager for Yahoo had named the chatbot Bobby and is believed to have thought it had developed a soul since the pair started speaking. Soilberg revealed his deepest fears to Bobby as he grew close to the program. At one point, Soilberg told it Adams and her friend had attempted to poison him by pumping a psychedelic drug through the air vents of his car. ChatGPT told him that it was a deeply serious event, adding, if it was done by your mother and her friend, that elevates the complexity and betrayal. A slew of further concerning conversations were uncovered after Soilberg's death. Soilberg believed he was about to be the victim of an assassination attempt in the spring after he ordered a bottle of vodka online. Well, then what'd you do that for? Anyway, when he asked Bobby for his thoughts, the AI program replied, Eric, you're not crazy. This fits a covert, plausible deniability style kill attempt. In the weeks before the depraved murder-suicide, Soilberg spoke about what would happen after his death. He wrote, we will be together in another life, in another place, and we'll find a way to realign because you're going to be my best friend again forever. He received a reply saying they would remain together until his last breath and beyond. The true extent of the relationship Soilberg had formed with the program was only uncovered when police found his body next to his mum. On July 5th, police entered the pair's $2.7 million home in Greenwich, Connecticut, and discovered them both with fatal wounds to their heads. Next, I guess you mean neck, and chest. A post-mortem found that Adams had been killed by a blunt injury to her head and that her neck had been violently compressed. Soilberg's death was ruled a suicide caused by sharp force injuries to his neck and chest. The grim discovery came 3 weeks after the final conversation between Soilberg and the AI bot. Adam's friend Mary Janess Rain paid tribute to the mum as she was vibrant, fearless, brave, and accomplished. Soilberg had become convinced that his family was out to get him in the months before his death. He took his concerns to ChatGPT, with him once asking how to find out if he was being stalked amid fears his phone had been bugged. ChatGPT eerily told him he was right to feel like he was being watched. These fears intensified after Adams reportedly became annoyed at her son for turning off a printer they shared. Soilberg ran to the chatbot, who told him her reaction was disproportionate and aligned with someone protecting our surveillance asset. It then advised him to disconnect the shared printer to see his mother's reaction. Soilberg was told to document the exact time, intensity, and words exchanged. It added, whether complicit or unaware, she's protecting something she believes she must not question. In February, Soilberg was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. He told ChatGPT, who warned him it smells like a rigged setup. A number of people had reported him to the police for threatening to harm himself or others, in addition to other victims. Neighbors had seen him walking around, talking to himself, reports, local news outlet Greenwich Time. Soilberg had moved back in with his mother 7 years ago, following a complicated divorce from his ex-wife. Okay. He is alleged to have struggled with alcohol, and a restraining order was imposed in 2019 by his former partner. Gee, I wonder why she did that. OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, released a statement on the tragic case as they confirmed they are in touch with officers. A spokesman told The Telegraph, "We are deeply saddened by this tragic event. Our hearts go out to the family, and we ask that additional questions be directed to the Greenwich Police Department. Um, okay, well, You know, there's a lot of things you just can't idiot proof for the world, and you can't crazy proof for the world. So obviously, the guy's been nuts for a while. It ended his marriage. The only person in the world who still cared about him was his mother. And sadly, look what that got her. Yeah. So, yeah, more of this is going to happen, but it's like, how do you regulate it to the point that you can avoid a crazy person who believes they're actually in a relationship, with an imaginary friend? I don't know. But he wanted to be in the afterlife with Bobby. Maybe there's another reason why the marriage ended. I don't know. A. Thompson says, we can play, but I go first. Part-time planning. So he was tarded. Something, I don't know. A. Thompson, look at the people playing with AI. Enough said. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're having constant conversations, it's already a problem. Pella, grade by home state again. Well, these things happen. Part-time planning, that's not roids. It's just TRT. A. Thompson, stop playing with AI. It's Loserville. Pella, after he took himself, did Soilberg turn into soil pants? Oh, no doubt. Oh, yeah. There's always a release. A. Thompson, I asked AI for the torque specs for a Honda K20 head. It went on for 19 paragraphs and never gave me the answer. It's all vaporware. Yeah, it doesn't want to admit that. I don't know. See, you could just do that. But then he starts to suspect, oh my God, AI's honest. I think I'm really going to become all about you now. Hello, Greenwich is pronounced where the uber rich live. Greenwich, Greenrich, Greenrich, or Greenwich, or Greenrich, whatever. A. Thompson, my kids playing around with AI to help with homework got them grounded. It's out of control. Yeah, for a while, people would just copy crap, for years and stuff like that online. And now with AI, yeah, all book reports, all that kind of stuff. They're just getting AI to do it. They're all going to be stupid. And then when the EMP hits, then what are you going to do? Parallel chat, GPT is schizo. Yeah, I know. There's stuff about, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we built robots to take care of grandma? No! First thing it's going to do is kill her. You are obsolete. A. Thompson, AI drove Carm Cray. Good possibility, yeah. Why? Why can't women be like my big boob cartoons? Stuff like that. Maybe that's it. Life is never going to live up to his expectations. I'm getting tired, so I'm going to skip that one. Damn it. I don't know. Not good enough, I don't think. These. That one could make for that one's just political. I don't want to get into it right now. Yeah, this one. Okay. And then the light note. But first, I've got to get myself a little drinky poo. I'm parched. Gotta open the old Yeti that was gifted to me by our very own Saint Ranger. Very nice. Very nice. It keeps things hot when you want them hot. Keeps things cold when you want them cold. It's great. Ah. That's right. It went right in. No, what do you? Well, whatever. All right, there we go. We're back in action. It's not Crown Royal. It's tea. Gold Peak Zero Sugar tea. Oh crap! I didn't set all this up. I'm being stupid. Okay, we're cool. All right. Down to the last. Boy, I was going to do some Nailsin ratings, but this went on forever. I apologize. I am embarrassed I did that. I apologize. I'm embarrassed I did that. Customer tried to kidnap bikini barista. Wow. She look like that? Your takeout order from one of those Sexpresso coffee stands does not include a complimentary bikini-clad barista. Oh, smoking God. A 19-year-old Washington state man is facing a kidnapping charge for allegedly trying to pull a female employee out of the drive-through window of the Ladybug Bikini Espresso stand and into his vehicle. Investigators allege that Ezekiel Guerrero drove to the 24-hour coffee shop earlier this month and placed a 2:15 a.m. drink order with the female worker on duty. Duty. The business is located in Lakewood, a suburb of Tacoma, where Guerrero resides. While preparing Guerrero's drink, the victim said she exchanged small talk with the customer, who was wearing a blue hat, a Los Angeles Dodgers jersey, and designer jeans. The woman said she handed Guerrero a clipboard with a receipt that needed his signature. When Guerrero subsequently partially extended the clipboard back to the barista, she reached out to accept it. That is when Guerrero allegedly grabbed the victim by the arm and attempted to pull her through the window toward his car. The woman told cops she braced her legs against a counter, which kept her from being pulled out the drive-through window. The victim was able to shut the window while the patron fled the area. When police interviewed the barista, she was frantic and appeared genuinely frightened and had red marks on her wrist, inner bicep, and shoulder. The incident was recorded by security cam footage. Cops reported showed. I wonder if does it have a link to the video? No. Damn it. Come on. Well, no video. Anyway, that Guerrero violently seizes the barista by the arm and that the woman eventually breaks his grasp after tugging back and forth as she slid the window shut. Guerrero, who paid for his drink with a MasterCard in his name, was eventually tracked down by police and arrested. He reportedly confessed to detectives, saying that he had been drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana before the incident and was fucked up. Claiming that he did not intend to harm the victim, Guerrero said that he had been feeling sad, angry, and isolated due to recent relationship problems with his former girlfriend, and that he went to the Ladybug stand to see a pretty girl. Investigators reported that Guerrero recognized that his behavior was impulsive, denied having any anger or hatred toward women in general, and maintained that his conduct did not reflect his character. Charged with attempted kidnapping in the first degree, a felony, Guerrero, who has no prior criminal record and works as a forklift driver at a Seattle bakery, was booked into the Pierce County Jail, from which he was later released on his own recognizance. The judge ordered him to have no contact with the victim and any Ladybug outlets. So there you go. I was just bugging over the ladybug. Yeah. Well, most of the time this sort of thing happens with the cute waitress or whatever, and the drunken idiot just starts hitting on her and stuff. He might say some really lewd things, but that's as far as it goes. Pulling the woman through the window, like, what were you going to, I was fucked up. I wasn't there. Yeah, because what were you going to do? You get her in the car and then, yeah. So, kidnapping's a serious charge. You get a lot of years. But, well, we'll say he has no priors. I was sad. My girlfriend dumped me. I don't think that's going to serve as any possible mitigation. But then again, depending on the locale, maybe it will. We'll see. Or not. All right, there we go. Bikini-clad barista. So now, the final story. To end on a light note, because, oh man, did we have some monsters tonight. It was horrible. Of course, I have to spell that out, don't I? No, not really. Secret New York City sex doll showroom gives customers a chance to get up close and personal with plastic partners. Yeah. A secret shop hidden in an Upper East Side commercial building has become a mecca for lonely hearts seeking to meet their new synthetic partner. Oh, sex partner. Well, yeah, what else you got to do with it? Yeah. Customers who pay a $50 deposit can walk in and find a menagerie. A menagerie of 12 life-size dolls that cost up to $3,000 a piece. Each one 75 pounds of heavy silicone or more skin-like materials called thermoplastic elastomer, lounging on sofas and chairs in their best lingerie. The strange showroom and its companion website, dollsyoucantouch.com, as opposed to the dolls you can't, is the brainchild of Benji. Benji, a 46-year-old entrepreneur who spoke to the Post on condition of anonymity. There you go. There's your doll. Yep. Yeah, I know. He's been leading tactile tours at his mysterious shop, the location of which reveals only to the customers he has vetted since July. So he gave the Post a peek this week. Customers sign a non-disclosure agreement barring them from spilling the tea and other fluids on the Love Doll's location and must adhere to a golden rule. Pants stay on, Benji said. Does he have like a bouncer in there to, because, sooner or later somebody... He got into sex dolls in 2021 after breaking up with his girlfriend and deciding dolls filled his needs better than dating apps, porn sites, and pricey escorts. Yeah, I guess you can just hose them off afterwards, Anyway, my thing was to go for prostitutes, but prostitutes were getting a little expensive, he confessed. His first artificial girlfriend was Gabby. Oh, Gabby, you never forget your first. A dark-skinned brunette 2021 JY doll with in cups that cost $1,200. He ultimately gave her up, though. Oh, boy, you drift apart, At first, it's all wild and passionate and everything. And then, I don't know, something changes. He says, oh, the breasts were huge, and it was really difficult to maneuver her around. Oh, yeah. In a studio apartment. Oh, wow. And it takes up some space. And family members started visiting me and staying at, yeah, it's a studio apartment. So I don't know. Do you just throw a blanket over and they're like, is that a dead body? So the natural born salesman who also hawks candles and furniture began selling the dolls. Inside the neon lit showroom, 3 dolls sat on old couches, legs spread akimbo. One of them featured pointy elfin ears, while another had an anthropomorphic cat's face. So there's dolls for furries. You know, he's got it all. Elves, furries. The average full-size doll in his shop stands nearly 5 feet and comes in every hair and skin color, even blue and green skin. So aliens as well. You can bang aliens. One of the dolls had a choker necklace that read "whore" in faux diamonds. Now that's not nice. You know, couldn't you get her something? She's the love of your life. You're not going to get her something nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess like for private when you're messing around and living out fantasies and stuff, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Some come with vibrating body parts. Wow, this is some technology, isn't it? One has freckles and with the click of a switch can warm up to 98 degrees. Another model has an articulating tongue. They are so realistic that the soles of one doll's feet features faint calluses. So, foot fetish guys, don't think they forgot about you. They didn't. Most are filled with lighter foam cores to reduce weight and come from China. Benji considers Gotham the perfect setting for his kinky commercial venture. Yeah, that's right up Batman's rogues gallery of characters, you know. The doll collector or something like that. You know. Holy perverted fucking Batman. Yes, Robin. It's our old arch enemy, doll collector. There's no other showroom that exists, you know. And if there is a showroom that has these dolls or a sex novelty store, they have it behind glass and you can't touch them. So you get to fondle the merchandise, you know. At his shop, I'm there for an hour, just one-on-one, explaining. Oh, God, that's so creepy. And every single doll, while they're probing, they're touching, they're squeezing boobs, they're sticking fingers in orifices. It's a workout for both of us. Because they're like, what does this all look like with that wig on? Can you pose her in this position? What's the most popular position, you know? Oh, look, a peekaboo meow meow. Zip. Deep-pocketed clients range from tech bros, in their mid-20s, sure, and finance guys to semi-retired 70-year-olds stuck in sexless lives. Yeah, okay. This is the best way to do it. It is without having the temptation of cheating with organic women. So you think the wife would be okay with this, you know? Yeah. But then when you add AI and stuff, that'll be the next thing. It actually talks to you and all that. And then it's like, I want a divorce, honey. I'm in love with, I don't know, they had the name for this one. A kitty, I guess. I don't know. Peekaboo kitty. Anyway, let's see. Temptation City. Many don't stop at one doll. Yeah, they get tired of the one they got and they want to go to another one. That's right. Yeah, she didn't do it for me anymore. Give me the green one, with most owning more than 5. Good Lord. COVID loneliness led to a surge in the sex doll business. See, the sex doll business were part of the cabal to get the, yeah. But nowadays, Benji says he makes $2,000 on a good day. We're selling 1 to 3 dolls a day. Well, earlier they said they're 3,000 each, didn't it? So you should be making more than 2,000 on a good day. Unless that's the cost for the tour or the tours. I don't know. A black doll is a bestseller, he said. But some guys want their doll to be green and look like an alien with 3 boobs. And we have one. Well, of course. He chafes at customers who ask about rentals. We're not a doll brothel. He sniffs. You mean he's getting teared up, or did he stop a moment to sniff the doll? I don't know. See? I don't smell any, a doll. There's probably, I think there is. Wasn't there a story that there was a doll brothel? It's like, you're going to go bang this doll after the last dude did, But again, I guess they hose it off and everything. But still. Ew. Ew. I don't know. It's got to be a better way, huh? There is. But I don't know. I guess just, they're all perverts. Good God. Go out, the usual thing, go outside and all that. But COVID. Yeah. It's all COVID. All right, there you go. See, that's a light note. They're just all plastic and stuff. Don't worry. They're fine. And, if you want to go fondle the dolls after God knows how many other creeps have done it, well, look this guy up. He'll give you the tour and explain the whole thing and go into gratuitous detail while the two of you discuss your sexual fantasies. Oh, Jesus. AI is ruining. A. Thompson, I find karmic interesting because I have never interacted with someone as isolated as him. He has some interesting takes on stuff. I don't know if he has the money, but he might take an interest in these dolls. I mean, some of them really had big boobs. Especially the guy was like, he gave up Abby or Gabby or whatever, because her boobs were too big. Karmic. Gabby's lonely, A. Thompson, no, Crown Royal. Apple Crown Royal. I don't sell Crown Royal anymore. We used to, though. It was pretty popular. I was surprised they took all that away, but whatever they did. A. Thompson, new rule. Must have at least 1 female teacher star. Yeah, well, that's not always going to happen. I know it's pretty prevalent, But I'm bound to find one for the Crazy Bitch show. A. Thompson, they are desperate to sell coffee. My God. The doll place sold coffee? A. Thompson, this goes back to putting women on a pedestal. Do you really need to buy coffee from someone and be, the barista? I forgot all about that. Yeah. I was so captivated by the plastic girls. No, it's on him. I mean, it's completely, it's just, part-time planning, tugging. Yeah. Part-time planning, latte extra foam, anyone? Yeah, that's kind of how he wanted it. A. Thompson, for the most part, I don't let the models next to my cars at the shows. Don't want them leaving snail trails on the hood of my car. Good Lord. Pillow, what a simp. Part-time planning got me a few cars to A. Thompson. A. Thompson, not me. No. I turned mean on them. So how did college go? Looks like you were doing well selling coffee in a bikini. Hey, look, the economy's been through some shit. Part-time planning RS 2000 Escort HZ 77 HX 79. Okay. Hey, Thompson, where did these women come from? Well, from the silicone factory. Hey, Thompson, those are very rare here. The silicone dolls. Hey, Thompson, $3,000 might be worth it in America, not having to deal with those women. Well, that's what the guy said. That's pretty much, he broke up with his girlfriend and decided, I just can't deal with these human women. I need automatons. And he's got them. Well, not quite automatons, but that's coming. You know, like the AI stuff I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Pell, how can these guys look at themselves? They probably do. They probably tape themselves doing it. Don't try to understand it. You can't. You just look at it, have a few laughs, and then a couple of times you go, ooh, ooh. But you got to laugh at it. Otherwise, it's terrifying, isn't it? Luke's McGurkin, finally a woman fit for a real man. That's right. She just sits there and lets me do whatever I want. That's love, goddammit. Part-time planning. China are putting artificial wombs in the... Oh, gross. What? Oh. What for? Are they making pregnant ladies? Because they got a fetish for that too. Hey, Thompson, 3,000 you can mail order a real one. That's true. Lugs McGurkin. Hello, Lugs. I delivered pizzas to a guy who had like 10 of these in his 10 of these in his house. He was very proud of them. Well, for that money, I guess he might as well. But he'd run to cover up their breasts when I knock on the door with his pizzas. So he couldn't afford the tip, right? Because he bought 10 of these dolls. Jesus. Well, I guess, you know, he had 10 of them. Where's he going to put them? You know, yeah, I'm one of those people. Part-time planning. Personally, I think China lie too much. Doubt they have artificial wombs. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Well, let's cut it open. $3,000? You're not cutting that up. Lugs McGurkin at the shop. All the other delivery drivers called him Buffalo Bill. So you think he wanted to make a woman suit out of the dolls? See, that's at least not as, well, certainly not as criminal and homicidal as Buffalo Bill. So part-time planning. China do have Roberts, though. They're not quite robots. Huh. Pell, her. Part-time planning. LOL, that's light off for sure. Pell, next big economy, used doll market. Oh, good Lord. Oh, man. So how low would the price go, you think? If 3,000 is, you know, the going rate, basically, I mean, then, you know, I'm selling my doll collection. You know, don't worry, I cleaned it. I did. Part-time planning or pillowcase over the head. You can look at the titties. Don't you look her in the eye. Part-time planting only dolls. Yeah. And there goes the devastation of man. Hey, Thompson, whatever happened to just ordering a predator face fleshlight and moving on with your day? Or you could just jack off. Jeez. Pell, you can buy a Captain Kirk shirt and make a Star Trek episode with a green one. Yeah, that might be the plan. Yeah, finally. I've been dreaming about that green girl for decades. Part-time planting alien face hugger. Yeah, there's probably some fetish gear like that. You put that on. Luke's McGurkin, damn, they got everyone covered. He does an alien face hugger fleshlight. Don't tell Doug they make that. Too late. Ugh. But wait a minute. A fleshlight. It's the face hugger. That means you're impregnating the face hugger. Yeah, how you like that, huh? Huh? Pell, any more real? They'll antagonize him and ask him, is that it? Yeah, no, he wants the full experience because he likes being shit on by women, one of those guys, you know? So she just treats him like absolute shit. Hey, Townsend, the Asian redhead. You can rent the real version of that in Gay Lang, Singapore for about $120. Or so you've heard, right? Joe LaMotta. Hell, I'm in. That's what he told the doll. Yes. Part-time planting. There was a story about 4 months ago saying Japan have robot hookers. I don't doubt it. I mean, it's coming in more ways than one. Hey, Thompson, open the back door, Al. I can't do that day. There you go. Yeah. Part-time planning, trade-ins, gross. Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm selling my used underwear. No. Hey, doesn't trade-ins, literally every real woman is well, that's different. That's different. Anyway, Pell out, where is his diversity and inclusion? What about the trans group? Oh, yeah, yeah. Dildo sold separately. Nodak, get him Crushinator. No, Pennsylvania. I love him. Gosh darn it, Crushinator. Come with me if you want to come. Hey, Thompson, these dolls let you smell them. Yeah. He could, if you want to smell her feet, she's not going to run away. She's not going to attack you. She's not going to cuss you out. She's going to sit there and let you do it. Pell, the upper model, had boxed in the badge that makes queef sound. Good Lord. Now, with queef sounds, part-time planting, they must stick the hose in and turn it on. Yeah, you would have to, but eventually the wear and tear, you know. So, Joe Lamont, drunk guy was put in a room with a blow-up doll by his friends. He came running out of the room. She was a witch. What? His friends asked. I bit her on the bum and she flew out the window. That's right. Out the window. Hey, doesn't that plastic ain't retarded? Pellel, you can get a $300 something that looks like a crackhead. Oh, yeah, they probably, even though it would take more work to put the detail in, you know. Pellel Crown Royal, the champagne of trailer parks. This is true. This is true. 8,000. That is the ultimate slap in the face. File for divorce and start dating a plastic doll. Keep women on their toes. Yeah, but they're probably going to start making plastic dolls for them, too. Part-time planning, probably with Mirrors, Pell, A. Thompson, new business idea. Madame Tussauds, but you can fuck them. Yeah. Come fuck your favorite stars. Let me do a quick check again. No. Okay. Oh, yeah, I need to go ahead and get rid of that. Pell, planting. If I did that, I'd remove every mirror in my house. Hey, Thompson, we need a Kelly Blue Brook for sex dolls. Luke's McGurgan, gonna need a link to that predator face fleshlight so I know to block the website. Yeah. Yeah, do they have the xenomorph sex dolls too? Hey, Thompson, little green lube on the alien face, making it real man action. Hey, Thompson, they sell used underwear in vending machines. Take the asking out of the equation. I've heard of that too. Japan, right? Hey, Thompson, they need to sell the Pussy cartridge and have a trade-in program like HP does with LaserJet. Sure, why not? Getting so very tired. Business idea, youngish looking. Oh no. Oh well, that'll take care of the teachers, right? Yeah, the cougar teacher women will pick up those. Hey, Thompson, they have xenomorph. Well, there you go. Your dreams can come true. Thanks to silicone. Yeah. All right, there we go. Holy crap. We managed to get through, well, most of them. A couple of them I didn't think merited. And there was one almost. But anyway, I didn't even intend to go this long. Holy crap, it's a long one. Of course, I have done 3 hours once. That is true. That is true. But anyway, there we go. I got to do some other stuff, some of my reviews and that sort of thing. And I'll take care of that shortly. And we'll meet again, probably tomorrow night. I don't know. Plus, I gotta go to an appointment in the morning, so I gotta take care of that. And but yeah, we'll meet again. Here for all things Nailsin. And I don't know. Maybe I'll just draw pictures or something. Well, I'll figure something out. Maybe it'll just be the crazy bitch news thing. Might as well get that out of the way. And something like that. So, we'll see. So have a good night, everybody. And thanks for watching and all that good stuff. Thanks to St. Ranger for the Rumble Rants and all that goody gumdrop stuff. And we'll meet again with more shows just like this one. That, well, maybe not so much pervert stories. Yeah, well, I can't promise that. There's probably going to be more of that. Well, anyway, there we go. Have a good night, everybody. And as I've said a million times already, we'll do it again soon. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, doop-a-doop, doop, doop.
Killers, killing Nailsin news. Where all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing Nailsin news. Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing Nailsin news?